Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思诗都还难
It's just complicated so much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Nián with Georgia Massette for today's show. So Georgia, we talked about welcoming you to China and to take you to different places. So I trust that you've done the research and you've got a list of places you want to go. Can you share that list with our audience out there and with me as well so I can do some preparation?
Yes, of course. Well, since I've been very small, very little, let's say, I was very interested in all the wonders of the world. And being the Great Wall of China in those, I would say that this is my absolutely number one non-negotiable.
The Great Wall.
What I want to do, the Great Wall and see in my life. So this would be the trip of my life, and then followed by the Forbidden City in Beijing. I've seen just so many pictures, so many videos. It's really in my dream list.
In that case, do you know how to say the Great Wall in Chinese?
The Great Wall? No.
Changcheng.
Oh, Changcheng.
Yes.
Now I remember that we learned it in school.
Yes, and it's not even that hard because Chang means long and Cheng is a city, but here it refers to the Chengqiang, so the wall of the city wall. So it's a long wall, Changcheng.
Changcheng.
Changcheng is the Great Wall. And the Forbidden City, do you know how to say that in Chinese?
Gùgōng.
Gùgōng, perfect. Gùgōng, so Gùgōng and Changcheng, the places that you want to visit the most. Actually, there are so many other places, and for each place, there is at least this one long story, historic story about the origin of it, what happened to it. And because we have, there is definitely a time difference here. Many of those ancient places, we call them ancient for a reason. They were there or they have been there for quite a long time. So there has been some changes made to these different places, but we can still see their ancient glory nowadays. So yes, a lot to look at. And today I can introduce you to several places that I would also want you to visit when you're here a bit later. But I do agree with you, Gùgōng and Changcheng, the Forbidden City and the Great Wall, would definitely be on the top of the list. So for our dear listeners, if you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for today's episode, the theme would be 故宫游故宫, touring the Forbidden City. For more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page Learn Chinese to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway.
Wow, 这里就是故宫吗？可真壮观呀！
是啊，早在1000多年前，故宫就建成了。历史上曾有20多位皇帝就住在这里。
难怪故宫有大量珍贵文物。
走，我们边看边讲。
That is a very reasonable conversation, and I have to tell you, if we go to the Forbidden City together, if I take you to tour different palace, different gardens and take you to see different relics and also see different exhibitions held in the Forbidden City, I would definitely be the same with the person in the conversation. I would try to give you all the history references and stories and tell you how many emperors were here, and behind a plate there hidden a certain message from the late emperor, and the emperor was trying to save that special message to his descendants, something like that. I will tell you all about those.
Oh, it would be so lovely. I love traveling and exploring, especially such important locations with someone who can explain me and truly tell me the history behind everything.
Yes, I enjoy that too. That is why if I know, I will tell you because I enjoy listening to history stories as well. Okay, so now let's first take a look at the sentences in the conversation. So you know some Chinese, and later when you're here, I will try to also give you some history. Chinese first. 哇，这里就是故宫吗？可真壮观呀。
Wow, is this the Forbidden City? It is truly magnificent.
Yes, great. So, wow.
Wow, we saw this many times.
Yes.
You say wow to be surprised.
Maybe in real life, you don't see this one exactly pronounced as wa, but I think you pick on the note, to pick on the sign when people are being amazed. It's very obvious. And then we have 这里.
这里 here.
Here. 就是
it is truly.
It is truly. This really is 故宫
Gùgōng, Forbidden City.
吗?
To ask a question.
Yes. So 这里就是故宫吗? It is not that this person using the sentence truly does not know where the place is. It's more like expressing his or her genuine, not exactly surprise, but more like excitement about, wow, I'm really here. I'm actually here. This kind of feeling.
Oh, yeah, I can totally relate to that. When you've been dreaming about a place and then you finally have it in real life, and it's never how you imagined it. It's always better, and you're always so astonished.
Yes. And then we have 可真.
可真, really, it's truly.
It really is. So if you want to say, 可真大呀, this is really big. 可真热呀, it's really hot. So it's again a way to express or to stress certain feeling or certain connotation. 壮观.
壮观, to be spectacular, magnificent.
Magnificent. So 壮 carries the meaning of big and major and grand. And 观 means to look at. So it is a place that I can look at it and I find it really big and beautiful and grand. So it's magnificent. 壮观. Usually we use this word to describe a certain place or a architecture or a site. For example, you can say the waterfall is really magnificent. 这个瀑布很壮观. It is supposed to be big and beautiful.
Okay, so we can only use it for spaces, places, not for persons.
Please don't do it for persons. Because if you say someone is big to the extent that you're saying, wow, this is a big man, it's a weird way to use it to describe a person. So please don't use it to describe a person.
Never.
Thank you. That is the first sentence. And then, 是啊，早在1000多年前，故宫就建成了。
Yes, it is. The Forbidden City was built over 1,000 years ago.
So 是啊, that is yes, and 早
as early as
在
to be.
1000多年.
1000多年, 1,000 years.
Okay, yes. So if I want to say over 100 years, how do I say it?
100多年.
Yes, perfect. I'm just trying to say that when we say 100年, that's 100 year. 100多年, that's over 100 years. 1000年, that's 1,000 year. 1000多年, over 1,000 years. 30年, 30 years. 30多年.
Up more than 30 years ago.
Perfect. So this is how you do it. It's really easy. You have a round number and you plus the 多 and then you plus the measure word. It goes.
Okay, so it could be any time.
It could be any time and it can actually be any measure word. It can also be like 200多米, over 200 meters. So it does not confines to only time. It can be any kind of number plus quantity word.
Okay. So it's not precise. It can be more than this, but it's not specified.
Yes, exactly. So 1000多年前, over 1,000 years ago. 故宫就建成。
故宫就建成 the Forbidden City was built.
Was accomplished. Yes, actually, 建设 would mean to establish or to be built, and 成功 finish, success in doing something. So it has been concluded over 1,000 years ago.
Okay, this makes sense.
And then, 历史上曾有20多位皇帝就住在这里。
More than 20 emperors have lived here throughout history.
历史
history.
History. shang.
During history.
During history, or actually this is a set phrase. We usually, when we talk about in history, this happened, we don't say 历史里 in history, we say 历史上. It's kind of like on the history that has been there. We are using, I always remember it as I think history is kind of like a book or a scroll, and you turn it open and you have all these things on the history. So it's kind of how I would remember it. So 历史上.
Okay, so throughout the whole history.
Throughout the whole history. And then we have 曾有.
There have been.
There have been. 曾经 means previously or once. 20多位. See, it's happening again. 20多位.
More than 20.
More than, yes, a little more than this many. 皇帝.
Emperor.
就
right, to this place.
住在这里.
住在这里, that have lived in this place.
Yes. 难怪故宫有大量珍贵文物.
No wonder that there are so many precious cultural relics.
Yes, so 难怪.
No wonder, it is not strange that.
No wonder, 难怪. I think this is also very, very useful. You can say things like, 他是新人，难怪他什么都不会. He's new here. No wonder he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know how to do anything. So it's like, no wonder. Or you can say, 你们是同学，难怪你们很熟.
You are classmates. No wonder you are, and then, I don't know.
很熟 means very familiar with each other. You're very close.
So
you know each other.
You're very close.
You're very close, yes.
Okay, so your classmates, no wonder you're very close.
Yes, so that's how you use 难怪. Okay. And here, 难怪故宫有大量.
Many.
Many, 珍贵.
Precious.
文物.
wénwù, artifacts.
Artifacts, yes.
Relics.
So, 难怪故宫有大量珍贵文物. Here, the word 有, we also see this quite often. And the verb 有, which means to have, can also be used to express existence. We talked about translating it to there is, there are in English, and it's very, very common. And literally, this structure expresses that a place has a thing. We know in English, you don't say a place has a thing. In English, you say there is one thing in this place. But the concept, I think, translates quite well. People understand what it means. So let's try to use the place plus 有 plus object to make some sentences. For example, I can say, 我家有一只小狗.
In my house, there is one puppy.
Yes, it's not saying the puppy belongs to the house. It's more like saying there is a puppy in the house. Or, 我们学校有很多帅哥.
In my school, there are a lot of cute guys.
Yes, I love that. And how about if you want to say, is there anyone in the room?
房间里有人吗?
Perfect. 房间里有人吗? Actually, if you say 房间有人吗, omit the 里, people would still understand.
Okay, perfect.
So that's the structure of a place has something, kind of structure. And then we have 走，我们边看边讲。
Come on, let's go explore while walking.
Perfect. And I love it when you translate 走 as come on, because it's precisely what it is. Because we know 走 is walk. It's like, come and walk with me. Let's go. Come on. So that's the idea.
Okay.
So 走，我们边看边讲 is like, let's get moving. Let's start traversing this lovely place. Something like that. So 走，我们
We
边看边讲。
边看边讲 to do two actions at the same time.
Yes.
And in this case, to have a look around and then walking at the same time.
Can you come up with some other 边 do something, 边 do something structure kind of phrase? Let's see if you can make some good ones.
我现在边看边说话。
Actually, you can say that. 我们边看边说. You don't have to say 说话.
我们边看边说.
Yeah, it's like saying, let's take a look at this. And while we're looking at it, we're browsing over it, we can continue to talk. Yes, that actually works.
Okay. So without 说话,
when you use 说话, people do understand you. But with the structure, actually, one syllable word is even better. It's more sophisticated. It's more natural.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
So that is that. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, I wanted to ask you if the structure phrase bien, it's something very much used during colloquial in conversations, or is it more used written in a written situation?
I think it is very much used in daily conversation as well. For example, if someone's in a hurry and wants to drag their friends to go with them, he or she can say, 我赶时间，咱们边走边说吧. So I'm in a hurry. Let's just go, get moving, and talk while we're moving. So 边走边说.
Okay.
Or you can say, 大家可以一起去吃饭，边吃边聊. So we can have lunch together. We can eat while we chat with each other. So it's quite often used.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
In that case, let's give the conversation a go, shall we?
Let's do this. 哇，这里就是故宫吗？可真壮观呀！
是啊，早在1000多年前，故宫就建成了。历史上曾有20多位皇帝就住在这里。
难怪故宫有大量珍贵文物。
走，我们边看边讲。You're listening to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Nian Honglin with Georgia. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's talk about some fun places to visit in China, especially if you're a foreigner and it's your first time here. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Nian Honglin, joined by Georgia. So Georgia, you talked about the Great Wall being the place that you definitely want to visit. Is there any research you've done about the Great Wall that you want to share with our audience out there?
Well, from what I know, but correct me if I am wrong, I was actually very interested in why it was built, and I've just looked through some history of China, and it was built by the will of the first emperor, Huángdì, to defend China at the time from the invasion. And it started, and it has become one of the biggest one of the biggest fortifications that exist in the world. And during the 7th century and at the time, it really interested me. And for the same reason, about this period of time, I would like to see also the Emperor Huángdì mausoleum. And I've studied it in class, and I really want to see it one day. I really hope I will be able to do that.
Actually, the Great Wall of China spans over 13,000 miles across northern China, built primarily to protect against invasions. Its construction began in the 7th century BC and continued through the Ming Dynasty, which is around 700 years ago. The most famous sections are near Beijing, including dàliàng, zhuàngguān, and Mutianyu, all of which have restored for easier access and tourism. So actually, if you want to climb the Great Wall, you want to experience the beauty and seeing the natural view, these places can allow you to get on and can appreciate the beautiful view, because there are other sections in Hebei province, for example, and those places are not that popular for tourists, which is why it is a bit harder to climb those Great Wall. And Great Wall have we talked about different sections of the Great Wall. Actually, there are the ones that are mainly made by soil. And we also have a section of water Great Wall but it's not because the Great Wall is in water. It's more like you can experience water area around that section of Great Wall as well. So it's a really great place to visit, definitely. And when it comes to Forbidden City, it is located in the heart of Beijing. You can never miss it if you're here in Beijing. And it is known as the Palace Museum, which explains the fact that there are different exhibitions held there. And talked about in the conversation that over 20 different emperors have lived in that Forbidden City, because actually Forbidden City has served as Chinese imperial palace for almost 500 years, from Ming Dynasty to the end of the Qing Dynasty. It is the largest palatial structure in the world, covering 180 acres. Some of the highlights of the Forbidden City include Hall of Supreme Harmony. It is the largest hall within the complex, Imperial Garden, Clock Exhibition Hall, and of course the Treasure Gallery. And if you're visiting Forbidden City during peak seasons, do book the ticket online in advance to avoid long queues.
This is a very useful advice. And I wanted to ask you, what about the heat? Regarding the Great Wall, do you have any suggestion regarding hats, wearing hats, bringing water, or is it we can walk without feeling the heat too much?
No. It is very, very hot during summertime. So if you're visiting during summertime, make sure you wear sunblock or bring an umbrella and bring a lot of water. And it's also quite hot in a lot of different tourism destinations here in Beijing during this time of the year, the summertime. Not only the Forbidden City and Great Wall, but also Summer Palace, for example. It is the vast ensemble of lake, gardens, and palaces. It served as a summer retreat for the Qing Dynasty emperors, hence we call it Summer Palace. It's also a great place to visit. And also the Temple of Heaven is another really great place to visit. We call it Tiantan. Yes, Tiantan. The Temple of Heaven is an imperial complex of religious buildings situated in the southeastern part of central Beijing. Also a great place to take pictures and to visit, but it can be quite hot. And these places are very welcomed by foreign visitors. And if you're interested in learning more about hands-on experiences to visit Beijing, actually Bianca chats with the Bettys from Australia who are currently exploring the city. They have quite a fun schedule and some exciting adventures. Let's take a listen.
Hello from the Palace Museum, also known as the Forbidden City. It's Bianca and the Pattys.
Hi!
Guys, what's your impression of the Palace Museum?
I feel like the majestic grandeur of the Palace Museum really captivated us. I always imagined it to be huge, and now that I'm actually here, I'm genuinely surprised. What do you guys think?
Even better than I imagined.
I agree. We're really excited to have this opportunity to learn more about the history of the Palace Museum.
The Pattys, Jasmine, Lachlan, and Evelyn Patty, are three siblings from Australia. Born and raised in Hong Kong, they have been studying Chinese language since a very young age and have developed a huge interest in China and Chinese culture. They are highly enthusiastic about talking with me in Chinese and have already visited several cities in China.
My
sister and I visited Shanghai last year because my best friend lives there. So it's naturally my favorite city. Being able to see friends there, you never feel bored.
Now we're in Beijing. We hope to explore every corner of China in our lives. I think many foreigners haven't had the chance to experience how friendly Chinese people are. As foreigners, when we arrived at a Chinese university yesterday, everyone warmly welcomed us. We really feel this sense of friendship, which is very special to us, and we cherish it a lot. Besides that, I think if you're a foreigner searching online about China, you might see the fast-paced life and flashy things in big cities, but many foreigners might not know that China also has many beautiful natural landscapes.
As you may have noticed, these three siblings speak perfect Chinese. I was very curious about how they became so fluent, so I asked Bianca to ask the question on my behalf. Let's continue with Bianca's discussion with them to find out and see how you could learn from their experience, especially when it comes to Chinese learning.
Jasmine Patty starred in the Chinese Bridge Language Proficiency Competition, a prestigious global language proficiency competition televised in China, where she achieved first place among her Oceania counterparts. The siblings, known collectively by their initials JLA, are quite popular on Chinese social media, amassing over 720,000 followers and more than 70 million views. By creating short videos to practice their Chinese language skills, they also enthusiastically promote cultural exchanges between China and Australia.
I think creating these short videos serves two purposes. Firstly, it gives us the opportunity to improve our Chinese proficiency and make more Chinese friends. Secondly, it also strengthens the friendship bridge between China and Australia. I believe we have a rare chance to learn Chinese, and we should definitely share our experiences.
They also mentioned that many people in Australia are enthusiastic about learning Chinese.
The Chinese class at my school is full.
Many people are interested in learning Chinese. We started learning Chinese from a young age because we understand its importance for our future in the world. We genuinely love learning Chinese and understanding Chinese culture. It brings us joy, right?
I find the clothing especially interesting. Traditional attire has such beautiful colors and meanings.
Yeah, and I'm particularly interested in Chinese food. Peking duck is my favorite dish.
I'm most fascinated by Chinese characters. As foreigners, learning Chinese characters can be challenging because of the strokes, radicals, and components to remember. I feel like writing Chinese characters is a bit like drawing. Once you write them with the right strokes, you can see the meaning of the word, which is very intriguing.
That was a fun conversation, and that actually brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Nian Honglin with Georgia here for the show. For more fun episodes, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also listen to the show and read the script there. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. Don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and ratings. 感谢收听，我们下次再见。
Goodbye, everyone. This was so interesting. Have a nice day. 再见。